We're in the game of League and I'm about to show you how to win your games as CAITLYN. What is up guys, my name is MipZ and welcome back for yet another League of Legends video. So today we are playing none other than the sniper CAITLYN. So as you guys probably know, in these videos I'm going to teach you guys exactly how to play this champion in order to win hopefully all of your games on her, at least most of them. So this specific video is solely going to focus on how to play the champion, like macro wise, in terms of decision making, how you play her in the laning phase, the mid game and the late game. So this is going to be like a pretty comprehensive overall like walkthrough of how to play the champion. I hope you guys are very much going to enjoy it. If you do, make sure to hit that like button. It actually really does help me out quite a bit. And make sure to go down below and subscribe to the channel in order to always get notifications and all this stuff whenever a new video is online. Anyways, as we're going into this game, I can see my team is actually invading, which is kind of awkward because I was doing this intro, but it seems like they did actually come out on top. I am using a normal game here to kind of just show you guys how to play the champion. So this is not necessarily like the most highest rated players we're playing against, but I feel like it's better that we're playing against a little bit like normal players, probably what most of you guys are gonna face anyway, so you guys have kind of an idea of what to expect when playing this champion. And also it's gonna give me that much more room to kind of explain what I'm doing and what I'm thinking. Anyways, as we're walking down into lane, the first thing I'm thinking is that I'm gonna start choosing my abilities. Generally speaking, with CAITLYN, you want to be taking your Q right away as your first ability. The reason why I didn't go ahead and level my ability before I actually need it is because it can be useful. This is something you'll see a lot of high rated players as well do, is not choosing their ability before they need it, because maybe they get invaded, maybe something happens where their E would be better in that scenario, or maybe their trap or something else. So a good rule of thumb is don't level your abilities before you actually need them. As we get into lane, I know for a fact on CAITLYN I can get level 2 power spike pretty much every time, because CAITLYN has one of the very strongest pushing abilities early game, and this is specifically her Q, her Peacemaker. The Peacemaker ability here is just like absolutely ridiculous. So as soon as you do get the second wave coming in, you want to make sure you get this level 2 power spike. So that's exactly what we did. We did get the level 2 power spike, but unfortunately we had pushed them a little too far back for us to really capitalize on it. But pretty often you can actually capitalize on this level 2 power spike right away. So I'm gonna see if I can just poke that guy a little bit. Gonna get my farm. Getting these guys up under the turret is not necessarily bad for us. The risky thing is only if we don't know specifically where their jungler is at. Right now I'm feeling pretty safe. I see Viego is top side. I'm kind of like trying to get a good idea of where Kha'Zix is. We know he died a moment ago, so I'm not thinking he's back here yet. He probably has to do at least 1 or 2 camps before thinking about a gank. So I'm gonna play it a little bit harassed here. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna get some good damage on. I'm gonna put a trap behind this guy. And actually, as we hit our traps, this is quite an important thing on CAITLYN. See, we actually overplayed this a little bit, but it should be fine. My heal there is a little too much, but I do want to make sure we get out of this. So we do get some good damage off. I'm gonna have to maybe eat some damage for my Braum, and it's gonna be fine. We actually got a kill on Israel because he literally ate the minions. This was more luck than anything, to be fair. That was more luck than anything. But and the play we did make there was a bit of an overplay. I must admit, I did not expect Kha'Zix to go down here as quickly as he did because of the fact that he just died. But he must have cleared his bot jungle earlier, or parts of it, and just evaluated that he really wanted to go for a gank or play hyper aggressive, which is fine nevertheless. We had all the tools we needed to get out, so it wasn't like it wasn't a play that put us in the worst of all situations. We did just have to use all of our summoners to kind of get out of it in a good way. And when we got out, we made sure that all of their team was quite unhealthy, which is good. And with a bit of luck, we actually got Ezreal as well. Anyways, with CAITLYN, you are one of the champs in the game with the longest range. And this is one of the reasons why CAITLYN is so much fun and so frustrating to play against. Like, CAITLYN for me is one of those champs that I pick up when I feel like winning lane, because CAITLYN is basically that. Like, CAITLYN is extremely good at winning lanes because of her range. Like, we can go up, we can just like kind of smash them a little bit in the face with our shots and walk back up. Like, that's kind of what you want to be looking for with CAITLYN, is this constant harassing. Every time they go in for a minion, you shoot them in the face, and you want to make sure that you have, of course, minion advantage when doing this. You don't want to be giving up. Like, you don't want to be giving up a last hit in order to harass. Of course, you want to make sure that you kind of balance this out such that whoop, we can get a little bit of damage in here. We need some extra free damage and get our minions. You see right now we're really far ahead. We have 53 farm. He's at 28. He's in a really bad spot. And what we're going to do here is we're going to put a trap behind the turret. This trap is super cheesy, and it's like one of the most useful things. Oh crap, I actually messed that up pretty bad. It's one of the most useful things you can do, because behind this turret people can't see the trap. They might know it's there, but a little bit of auto rooting. I feel like Kha'Zix is down here. We'll move back up. A little bit of auto rooting when people just click their map or click somewhere, they're probably gonna like just kind of like stumble into your trap, and that's just free damage. What you want to be doing whenever people walk into your traps, which is quite important actually, is that you want to be looking to instantly, if they're far away, you want to instantly throw out a Q onto them. The thing is with your Q, your Peacemaker, is that this thing deals more damage, or it doesn't deal more damage, it deals less damage when it hits several targets in a row. Specifically, like when you hit minions and then they hit, then at the end of it you hit the champion. But if they have like if they're in a trap, if a champion steps into a trap, then even if you hit minions, they take the full max damage from your Q. So it's quite important to get this Q off whenever they step in your trap, because it's a free headshot and it's also a free whoop, let's grab this one. Whoop, just kind of back out here a little bit, take it a little slow, put a trap behind this guy. I'm kind of gonna make it difficult for them to do that much here. Not gonna be able to get that stun off. It's I'll take this straight. And there we go. But it does make it very, very difficult for them to deal with. So generally speaking, with your traps, you want to put your traps down in routes where people want to try and run away. You can really use this in bushes, especially if they don't have vision like we did here. Then Ezreal kind of just ran into it because he didn't know it was in there, and he was kind of trying to help out his teammate. So we like predictively put a trap in there. Then you need to do what we call follow-up traps, which is basically whenever a teammate puts down like a snare or a stun onto a target, then you want to make sure you instantly put down a trap on them. You have to do this like at the very beginning, as soon as your teammate has stunned or snared the target. And the reason for this is quite simply that there's kind of this small trigger time on this ability or on these traps. So if you put it down at the end, it's simply not going to trigger. All right, so right here, we're just going to poke a little bit. We might actually go for like a little bit of a... We can go for a greedy play. I want this Nautilus to kind of miss the snare first before I do so. But we can do like a flash EQ combo, which can literally be a free kill down here. But I'm a little skeptic because if I do it while Nautilus still has his Q, then I'm 100% probably going to get caught on his hurt. I might still get my target, but it is going to be risky. That's going to be a risky one for him in there. Going to shove this. Then we can run this way potentially if these guys are backing up. All right, they're not. So we have a headshot ready. We're going to start pulling up these traps behind the turret. You can see we're pulling up the traps, but they can't actually see them. And, whoop. Okay, so there's the grab. We're going to EQ here. And that's going to be a free kill. There, right there. We don't have vision. If we had vision onto Ezreal, we could actually just ult him, and that'll be another free kill. Let's grab these. You can see, like, we're so far. We almost have double the farm. We're in a pretty good spot. We're pushing turrets. We're getting armor platings. So this is, of course, a really nice example of just kind of like half stomping your lane, which is always fun. But what if things are not going your way? Well, the thing with CAITLYN is that she is really, really good, especially when she's ahead. But she is a champion that really do struggle if she falls behind. If you fall behind of CAITLYN, you of course just kind of have to turtle up behind your turret and just kind of like farm. You need to farm up. It's the only way. You don't want to be going like all in into fights that you're not in a position to do so. I think here, like, my backs right now, because we're like kind of like chatting and like ranting, then my backs are a little random and they're not super good. This could be optimized a lot in a like try hard game, but this is, as I said, this is more of kind of show you guys the champion and how to play her. So we'll back out now. We'll get our we could almost get Kraken Slayer here. Actually, this back, I'm actually gonna stay for another wave. I'm just gonna greet it. We're so close. Like, our alternative is to sell our Doran's Blade as we get back, which I honestly don't really feel that much like, and I feel like I can probably cheese these guys to not think that I'm alone. Okay, this guy actually does think I'm alone. We're gonna queue this and get that minion. I might have to flash right here. I'm kind of keeping my eyes out. If he casts his ult, I will flash, but I'll be fine. All right, we'll back out. We can now get our Kraken Slayer. This is going to be a huge item for us. And this is where the game starts to become really fun, is once you start getting these first couple of items finished. But yeah, a quick thing I do want to summarize, just for those who don't really like got the full like overview of the laning phase. And in the laning phase, what you want to do, as soon as you get into lane, you want to try and cast your Q onto the minions to force you to get the level 2. You have your Q is insane at getting you this level 2 power spike. If you're playing below like plat, maybe even over plat, then a lot of people won't actually respect your level 2 when they're still level 1. And there you'll just want to harass them as much as you can. If you're playing with a Morgana or a Lux or something that snares the target or stuns the target, then and your teammate hits his ability, then take your W, put the trap underneath them. It's a free kill. If not, you can, as you get more practice with CAITLYN, you can do something like taking your E and do like an EQ flash play or something else, the more like flashy plays. But it is much more situational and something that I wouldn't recommend for the standard player, also because the other play, if possible, is a lot easier to pull off and a lot more secure. But yeah, a really good tip is just to kind of hang on to your abilities. Whoop. We'll just grab these. See, this damage is just insane. Like, he steps in the trap, we fire off the Q, because then the damage is not delayed by anything else or lowered by anything else, and that's just a free smash right in the face. I don't think that guy even expected to die. He was like, eh. He probably felt like he was a little screwed, but he didn't feel like, I don't think he predicted that he would actually die there. And throughout this game, I've been kind of disrespecting them not warding, but I haven't really needed to do so because of the amount of pressure we've had on lane. Like, if Kha'Zix tried to gang us, the most likely result of it would be us just beating him up, right? All right, so that's basically what we want to be doing in laning phase. We want to try and poke our opponents as much as possible, exploit the fact that we have extremely long range. If we're behind, we want to play safe. We want to farm up. This is actually one of the things you commonly want to do almost on, or generally speaking, on any ADC. If you're behind, or any lane, if you're behind, focus on farming more than anything. This is like the best thing you can do. With CAITLYN, you always want to try and just max out your range and play for that. As we get into the mid game, the objective of the game kind of swaps around for you, because now you're not focused on like a 2v2 or a 1v1 as you would in other lanes. What you're doing here instead is that you're gonna start focusing, like you're gonna start hyper focusing, like you're gonna completely hyper focus on objectives. This is your thing. what you need to be doing is you need to, first of all, you want to try and see if you can rotate to probably the mid lane. The reason why you want to be in the mid lane with your support, holy crap, they surrendered. God dang it, man. Okay, but the reason why you want to be in the mid lane is actually because of the fact that when you are in the mid lane, you are the closest to both the Baron and to the Drake, or if the Rift Herald is still up, the Rift Herald. And having both support and ADC in the mid lane basically means that you're able to sit there very, very safely and very quickly respond to either thing if need be. The thing is, if your mid laner does not rotate to one of the side lanes when you go in there, then you kind of just have to say, well, I'll go down bot lane or top lane, depending on where my top laner is. Because yes, your mid laner might be doing the wrong thing by doing this, but the worst thing that you can do is that you can go and sit 3 players in the mid lane, share XP and gold. Then it's better you go down bot lane, make sure you get the farm, but play safely. In terms of team fighting, CAITLYN is actually pretty straightforward. We want to be using our traps to kind of encapsulate us. We want to use traps to kite our targets around and make it difficult for them to reach us. So some of these things, I'll put in a clip from one of my other games where I basically just kite around a Lee Sin to the point where afterwards, like the enemy team is just like, holy shit, like this CAITLYN's pretty good. But what I want to show you with this clip is basically just the fact that like CAITLYN, you can put down her traps, and this is actually a lot of like kind of mobility for you, that if you put down these traps, then you can use them as kind of a thing to like a pillar to maneuver around, where if they walk into it, they take a ton of damage and they're snared. If they don't, they're just going to be like running around you because you can run over them. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm very sorry that these guys sadly surrendered this game so quickly. This was really not the plan. I feel like this happens quite frequently, sadly. This is the downside of normal games, of course. But it does show just how strong, like we definitely tilted that bot lane to the point of no return. They were double the farm behind. They had no kills. They couldn't do anything. So yeah, with CAITLYN, really quick summary. Laning phase, poke them down as much as you can. Exploit your range. Put down traps. You want to put the traps behind the turret. You want to put traps so it's hard to maneuver around them. Even you can put them in bushes or close to the minions when they try to run up to last hit, so it's awkward for them to last hit minions or force them onto one side of the minions. And yeah, just kind of try and poke them, annoy them down. You have the advantage of the range. Your ult, you never want to be using this during a fight unless you cannot reach your target and you just need to kind of last hit them, because using your ult in a fight actually deals less damage than it would if you just auto attacked. So don't use ults unless you need to reach a target that you cannot reach. But yeah, I think that kind of covers it in mid game. You want to start focusing on objective, rotate mid. If your mid laner doesn't rotate, you have to go down bot. Still focus on drakes, towers, and this stuff. Never run around alone. Group up with your team for the objectives, and otherwise farm. Make sure to get your farm. It's so important. And yeah, then kind of just smash the enemy team, play the backline, use that far range you have. She is extremely fun. And yeah, I might do another video on her to kind of give you guys a longer game. It was really annoying that they surrendered, but I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe it down below. I would really greatly appreciate it. And as always, stay awesome, have fun, and take it easy, guys.